Dear friends, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support and encouragement. I am truly moved. It has deepened my faith in building bridges between different cultures, perspectives, and hearts. I am especially grateful to those of you who come from different backgrounds and worldviews, yet still engage in such open, respectful dialogue. This is rare, and it is precisely what I believe our world needs more of today. A little more understanding, and we suddenly realize resonance isn't as difficult as we thought. In fact, whether it's philosophy, science, theology, or mysticism, doesn't matter if it's symbols, data, or logic, they are all, at their core, different languages. Some of us speak through one system, some through another. It's like people from different parts of the world. Some speak English, some French, German, Mandarin, Japanese, and so on. My English is far from perfect, but I still try my best to express myself. Likewise, when I speak of science, especially physics, I know I cannot speak with the fluency of a professional scientist. Of course not. But that doesn't stop me from participating, sharing, learning, and building dialogue with you. I hope you can feel that sincerity. The concept of beginninglessness, which I explored as last topic, was not invented by me. It is something I learned from Indian philosophy. Quantum mechanics, also not my theory, it's something I've discovered through documentaries and readings. What I'm doing is trying to build bridges, just as I hope to build bridges between people of different faiths, cultures, and viewpoints. I hope to bridge East and West, science and philosophy, intellect and heart, because I believe no matter what the language, its true purpose is not to divide, but to connect, not to weaponize, but to resonate. Isn't that why we speak at all? So, even with my limited English, I will continue to share relational non-duality and speak boldly about existence, the cosmos, and life itself, with no shame, no regret. As I said in episode 6, on the principle of grounded goodness, a tree rooted in sincere, benevolent soil will never bear toxic fruit. Even if the fruit isn't that sweet, at least it wouldn't be harmful. So, if you, my dear friend, happen to hold different scientific views, I welcome them. I would love to hear your thoughts and learn from you. Let's engage in meaningful conversation. But I also like to offer a gentle reminder. Please, respect human dignity and this world we share. Yes, life is imperfect, but the fact that we exist, that we are expressions of endless grace, is already precious. This earth is still beautiful and lovely. If someone crosses that boundary, if their theory is built upon a disdain for life and humanity, then I'm sorry. No matter how groundbreaking the theory may be, I wouldn't be interested. Not because I reject intelligence, but because I refuse to let cynicism grow in me. I do not want to become bitter, and I do not wish for others to become that way either. But if you are open to it, you are welcome to stay. Take a look at our comment section. See the exchanges happen with others. You may discover that respectful dialogue, joy for life, and engagement with the world are not as hard as they seem. And maybe, just maybe, you will feel that you are not as isolated as you thought. We are here with you. You might rediscover a long-lost sense of peace and meaning. If not, that's okay too. I offer you my heartfelt blessing. Because as I often say in relational non-duality, everything is a manifestation of relationship. If the timing is not yet ripe, there is no need to force the fruit to ripen. But one day it will. Some flowers bloom later than others, but that doesn't mean they can't bloom radiantly in the sun. One day, you may come to realize the joy and wholeness that were within you all along. And when that smile finally arises from deep within you, I'll be cheering you on. Now, let us enter today's topic, matter. When we open our eyes and perceive the world, what we first encounter are things like tables, walls, bodies, stones, and earth. Entities that appear to occupy space, have weight, and cannot be penetrated. These compose what we call reality. We call them matter. But if we go one step further and ask, what exactly is matter? Is it truly as solid as it seems? From atomic theory, relativity, quantum field theory, thermodynamics, to Eastern philosophy, spiritual traditions, and consciousness studies, humanity's understanding of matter has long moved beyond the crude picture of solid little balls. In relational non-duality, we offer a clear definition from the outset. Matter equates energy manifesting at a critical threshold of vibrational intensity within a relational structure. Matter is not a fixed standalone substance. Rather, it is vibration becoming perceptible within relational structures. A concentration of relational tension that, due to its density and stability, form a visible boundary. Einstein's famous formula, E equals mc squared, was the first to mathematically equate energy with mass. Mass is simply a form of energy, and under the right conditions, the two are interchangeable, as seen in nuclear fission and particle collisions. The formula shows equivalence, but it doesn't fully explain how energy organizes into the form we call matter. In quantum field theory, what we call electrons, protons, and photons are not little balls. They are excitations of different fields, like vibrations on a tensioned string producing different tones. This closely aligns with the relational non-duality view. Matter is not the position of substance, but the result of achieving a particular vibrational structure. In thermodynamics and fluctuation theory, matter is seen as the self-organizing outcome of energy tension within a closed structure. Just as soap bubbles form from tension between water molecules, quantum fluctuations in the early universe, tiny perturbations in energy, were frozen under certain conditions into particles and matter. Now, let us reframe this process in the language of relational non-duality. When you perceive an object, it's not because something is there in isolation, but because at that location, there is a stable relational tension field whose vibration has reached the threshold at which you, as a relational node, can resonate with it. As a result, you'll experience what we call matter. Let's think about water turning into ice. Water has no fixed shape, but under conditions of low temperature and stable tension, its vibrations lock into place, forming ice. Ice is not a new substance. It is the frozen vibrational pattern of water under specific structure. Matter, similarly, is energy whose vibration has been structured into form. Or, another example, like musical notes in a melody. Music is not just a series of notes, but the tensional arrangement between them. When a vibrational pattern stabilized, It becomes audibly recognizable as a melody. If energy is like sound vibration, then matter is like the recognizable melodies within that vibration. We can also understand it as vortices in a river. Water flows continuously, but under specific conditions, it forms visible vortices. A vortex is a temporary structural manifestation of water. It can be seen, but it's not something in itself. Matter is just like that. A structural vibrational focus spun out from the relational field. In this view, matter is not a solid thing, but the rhythmic event of existence resonating within structured tension. But now, we have to face a question. If matter is just a structure and not an entity, then why can we touch it? How can it have resistance, weight, and hardness? This is precisely where relational non-duality seeks to go beyond the traditional divide between materialism and idealism. Let's break this down step by step. First, let's clarify a misunderstanding here. Relational non-duality does not say that matter is fake or illusory. What we reject is the idea that matter is an independent, self-existing substance, a solid little ball out there. What we affirm is this: matter is real, but its reality is not grounded in isolated substance. It is grounded in vibrational tension reaching a critical threshold within a relational structure. You ask, why can we touch matter? Then let's ask more deeply, what is the nature of touch itself? Scientifically speaking, when your finger touches a cup, the atoms never actually contact each other. All the resistance and hardness you feel comes from electromagnetic repulsion, the tension fields between atomic structures. Your nerve endings receive feedback from this tension field, which your brain then interprets as, I touched something. In relational non-duality, the essence of touch is this: you and a vibrational structure reach a critical resonance of tension, forming an interface of experience. That interface is what you call touching something. It's not that something blocked you. It's that your own structure and the other structure were not penetratable to each other due to field dynamics. That non-penetrability is the source of the sensation of I touched something. Touch is not perception of substance. It is perception of structural impedance. Touch wood and feels hard. Touch water and feels soft. Touch wind and feels formless. Touch light. You cannot touch light. Why? Because the density and the structure of the relational field determines whether the sensation of touch can be manifest. You are not touching objects. You are sensing patterns of tension. So we can see, touch is not the contact with substance, but the resonance between structured tensions. Why can you touch? Not because your soul touches matter, but because you, yourself, are a structure of tension. Your nervous system, cell membranes, and charge distribution create a stable network of sensitivity. Every time you feel that you've touched something, you are experiencing a disturbance in that network, a vibration, a translation of tension. So, sensation of touch is the manifestation of resonance at a critical threshold between two relational structures. You are a structure. The object is a structure. When the two structures interact and their tension meets the threshold of resonance, touch emerges. However, our perceptions are tuned only to the manifested, not to the unseen unmanifested. But it is the unseen flows and tensions that determines whether appearing is even possible. You see an apple, not because an apple exists independently, but because light, structure, and relational energy come together in a way that permits that form to stabilize. That stabilization is what we call matter. So, relational non-duality liberates matter from the misunderstanding of substance. We no longer say matter is solid. We say matter is a stable appearance of energy in relational tension. It is a trembling in the field, a vibration allowed by resonance, a threshold met by harmony. The ground you stand on is not built of bricks of stuff. It is a network of energy nodes resonating in structure. And you, yes, you are one of those trembling notes, a beat in the cosmic dance, a rhythm in the unfolding web. My friends, relational non-duality does not deny matter nor seek to escape it. It seeks to see through it, to understand that everything is a crystallized relationship. We are not living in a world of things, but in a weaving of relationships, where every breath, every thought, every heartbeat changes the pattern. This world is not a stage. It is an ongoing manifestation. And you are not an observer, you are part of this dance. Our connection to the universe is not about knowing its particles, but about resonating within its movement, participating in harmonious relationships. The transformation lies here. You stop being the processor of the world. You become the listener to its vibration. You stop saying, I know, and start saying, I respond. You stop demanding what the world should be and start hearing what it is becoming. This is the shift from being a master to becoming a resonator, to step out of ownership and into flow, into the pulse of appearing. Finally, I want to say this again. The language of science may not be my strongest suit, but I'm bravely bridging the words of philosophy and science. If there is anything inaccurate, please share. I am open to learning. If you are a scientist or thinker and feel resonant with this vision, I am honored. If my words bring in inspiration, let them flow. They are not positions, but gifts of relationship. Knowledge is alive only when sharing. So take it, share it, let it tremble through you. I look forward to your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next episode.